We start off today's wrestling news and rumors video with an update on a big development that occurred last night on Monday Night Raw in the women's tag team division, because for the fans who may have missed it, Vince decided to book a match between the Riot Squad and the Iconics, with the winners receiving an opportunity at the women's tag team titles, and the losing team having to split up. At the end of the night, Liv Morgan and Ruby Riott picked up the win over the Iconics and will be receiving an opportunity at the Tag Team Gold very soon. But as for the Iconics, Peyton Royce and Billie Kay, their tag team partnership dissolved last night on Raw, and we have the rumored reason for this decision. According to one of our sources, the reason for the WWE breaking up the Iconics stems from the fact that Vince McMahon has had a strong interest in seeing where Peyton Royce would go as a singles competitor in the women's division, with one source mentioning that McMahon sees big potential in Peyton, and feels the Iconics tag team has run its course, and that it is now the time to give Peyton Royce a chance to break out in singles competition. As of right now, it's unknown what the plans are for Billie Kay following their tag team breakup, but we have been told that Billie may eventually transition into a role comparable to Lana, where she manages another superstar, and quite possibly even managing her former tag team partner Peyton Royce in the future. We have been told that because of major women's division superstars such as Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair being out of action, with other top female stars like Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler becoming a tag team, McMahon believes this presents the perfect opportunity to see if his feeling about Peyton Royce becoming a big star is true, so fans should definitely expect Peyton to be getting a fairly big push in the coming months. There's no doubt that most fans have come to recognize Mauro Ranallo as being one of the best commentators currently working for the WWE, but as of last night, that is no longer the case, because big news has been revealed regarding Mauro leaving the WWE, and apparently Mauro is no longer under contract with the company, which is reportedly one of the reasons why the WWE had put Wade Barrett on NXT commentary duty moving forward for the immediate future. By all means, this is a pretty big loss for the WWE, as Mauro truly made most fans feel engaged with every match he called, because of his energy and overall excitement. Let us know your thoughts on Mauro officially leaving WWE, and do you think Wade Barrett is a good replacement for Ranallo? Although Rey Mysterio and Dominic finally had their big moment at this past weekend's Payback pay-per-view event, with Rey and his son getting the big win over Seth Rollins and Buddy Murphy, there's some rather unfortunate news that has just come out regarding Rey Mysterio, as it has been reported that Rey suffered a tricep tear injury at Payback, and will be out of action for 2 to 3 months at the very least to recover, and as of right now it's unknown whether or not the WWE will be continuing the Dominic storyline during Rey's absence, although there is always a possibility that Rey could become his son Dominic's manager over the next couple of months, and help guide Dominic to victory over some of the Monday Night Raw superstars in the meantime. But regardless, it's still pretty unfortunate considering it seemed as though Rey Mysterio and Dominic were going to be getting close to an opportunity at the Raw Tag Team titles. In other news, one source has mentioned that Seth Rollins and Buddy Murphy will be splitting up in the very near future, due to the fact that Vince wants to showcase Rollins once again in a main event role very soon, and feels the whole Monday Night Messiah gimmick with the faction has run its course, and that it's time for Seth Rollins to change things up a bit on his own. Not to mention the fact that Vince also reportedly has big plans for Buddy Murphy as a solo competitor, so in all probability, once Rollins and Murphy split up, they will feud with each other for a while before going their separate ways, with one rumor revealing that during the upcoming Superstar shakeup, Seth Rollins will be moving over to Friday Night SmackDown to freshen things up. Although Randy Orton ended up walking out of last night's edition of Monday Night Raw the clear #1 contender for Drew McIntyre's WWE Championship for Clash of Champions 2020 later this month, after Randy managed to get through Seth Rollins and Keith Lee, it looks as though Vince McMahon and other backstage officials have something big planned for Drew McIntyre in the very near future, which leads many fans to believe that Drew will once again find a way to retain his WWE title against the Viper at Clash of Champions. For those of you who may be unaware, heavyweight boxing world champion Tyson Fury has once again called out Drew McIntyre to step up to the plate and accept his challenge for a WWE title match, with Fury stating that he truly wants to seek revenge on McIntyre for all the things the Scottish psychopath has said about him over the past several months, with Drew McIntyre responding to Tyson Fury by basically stating that he was more than up for the challenge. As most of you would likely expect, Vince has been very interested in the idea of once again bringing Tyson Fury to WWE WWE, due to the fact that Tyson is a mainstream star and would bring lots of eyes to the WWE, and one of our sources has mentioned that fans should not be surprised whatsoever if Tyson Fury returns to the company for a match against Drew McIntyre at Survivor Series 2020 in November, or perhaps for one of the upcoming Saudi Arabia shows, with the company apparently planning to return to Saudi Arabia in late 2020 if all things go according to plan. While it may sound surprising at first, we have been told that if the WWE moves ahead with booking Tyson Fury versus Drew McIntyre for the WWE title, Tyson would apparently be the man to end McIntyre's reign as champion, with the company then booking a super fight for Tyson Fury at WrestleMania 37. Let us know your thoughts on Tyson Fury's call-out of Drew McIntyre for a big title match, and if it does indeed happen, should Drew McIntyre retain against Fury, or do you guys think that Tyson Fury deserves a run as WWE champion? We now have our main story featured in this video, and it is all about the storyline regarding Paul Heyman's alliance with the new Universal Champion Roman Reigns. Over the past 2 days, one of the biggest talking points in the wrestling world following Payback 2020 was not actually regarding Roman Reigns, but more so regarding the Beast Incarnate Brock Lesnar's status with the WWE, after rumors began circulating that Lesnar is no longer under contract with the company, and is essentially a free agent. And according to one of our sources, that is exactly what Vince McMahon wants fans to believe, that Brock Lesnar is done with the company, so that when Lesnar does eventually return to WWE, it will be a big surprise moment for fans. While some believe there is a chance that Brock Lesnar could join AEW, or possibly make a comeback to the UFC, we have been told that Lesnar doesn't have any plans of leaving WWE, and is simply using his free agent status to get more money from Vince, when he inevitably signs his new deal. One of our sources has mentioned that a big storyline idea Vince McMahon is currently considering would see Brock Lesnar return at either Clash of Champions 2020 or the following edition of Friday Night SmackDown to basically destroy Roman Reigns after Paul Heyman turns on Roman, with Paul Heyman then revealing that he had been playing Roman Reigns all along and that there was only room for one beast in WWE, with that man being Brock Lesnar. As you would expect, this would eventually lead to a Universal title match between Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar in late 2020, possibly at Survivor Series, with Lesnar rumored to win back the Universal title. A new leaked backstage rumor has indicated that while Vince is not opposed to Roman Reigns being presented as a heel moving forward, he would much rather have Reigns on his own without a manager and as a tweener, who would then be seeking revenge on Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman, while wrecking everyone standing in his path, with one source mentioning that McMahon is concerned Roman's popularity and merchandise sales would go down if he becomes a permanent bad guy, hence Paul Heyman's rumored switch back to Brock Lesnar, with Reigns then becoming a tweener type character who's not technically a good or bad guy. With all this being said, let us know your thoughts on this rumored storyline idea Vince is legitimately considering for Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar, and do you agree with Vince McMahon that Roman Reigns is better suited not fully being a bad guy, but more of an in-between babyface and heel character depending on the storyline? Make sure you sound off in the comment section down below, and do give us your thoughts and opinions on the matter.